What happens when two surgeons embark on a scandalous relationship at work? Find out in today's episode of All Women Love Stories, a series that discusses the best all-women relationships shown on film and TV. Before we get into the video, don't forget to please subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss any future all-women love stories. Welcome back to All Women Love Stories. Today, we continue to dive into the British medical soap opera, Holby City, and a fascinating lesbian storyline between two surgeons, Serena Campbell and Bernie Wolfe. Bernie Wolfe, portrayed by the amazing Jemma Redgrave, arrived at Holby as a battle-hardened army surgeon. While she quickly formed a deep bond with the brilliant Serena Campbell, Catherine Russell, Bernie was carrying a heavy burden. When her secret affair with a woman was exposed, it didn't just end her marriage, it left Serena, her closest confidant, reeling in shock. The tension between them is palpable, even to outsiders. When Bernie's son, Cameron, is admitted to the hospital, he doesn't need a medical degree to diagnose what's happening. He sees the spark between his mother and Serena instantly, a connection that Bernie is still too terrified to admit to herself.
Serena?
I've seen you look at her.
No, Cameron, she's a work colleague. She's a friend.
But personal drama has to take a backseat when Holby City is plunged into total chaos. An air ambulance helicopter has crashed near the hospital, resulting in mass fatalities and a flood of critical injuries. As the ED is inundated with patients, the pressure reaches a breaking point. Amidst the carnage, Bernie treats one of the survivors, a man named James Fielding. James is a mystery to the staff, but he seems to know more about Major Wolfe than he should.
So do you know James from your army days then?
No, I treated him a few months ago.
Bernie reveals that James was actually admitted as a patient for a separate injury, where she treated him, and that he is kept in touch. James notices armed police officers. He tells Bernie that he doesn't think the helicopter crash was an accident.
Have you heard the misinformation they're putting out? This was no accident.
Very good. Anyway, I'm sorry, I have to be back in theatre.
Bernie gets emotional as she performs amputation surgery on an injured woman involved in the helicopter crash. She notices that the patient is not much older than her own daughter.
Doesn't bear thinking about.
Don't.
Sure.
James, the patient who spoke with Bernie earlier, now speaks with Serena. He has a chilling question for her. Has Major Bernie noticed people following her?
You haven't noticed anyone following her around or,
Sorry?
you don't recognise on the ward?
Well, given the circumstances, plenty.
Thank you.
What's he doing out of bed?
Asking some rather odd questions. Seems to have a bit of a Bernie obsession going on.
That'll be the major to you.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
James is again seen wandering the ward, with his eyes constantly fixed on the police officers guarding the ward.
Now what?
The president of your fan club's playing up.
Yeah, what's the story there?
I told him about my military background, and he's been emailing me conspiracy theories ever since, but nothing beyond that.
Seems very concerned with your welfare.
Serena and Fletch question whether Bernie thinks that she may have a stalker.
Oh, he's harmless enough.
Not stalker material?
As CEO.
The next day, James is out of bed and frantic. He corners Fletch, delivering a chilling warning. Major Wolfe is in serious danger.
Major Wolfe's in serious danger.
Okay. How do you know that?
Don't patronise me.
Like, I'm not.
This is real.
Fletch tells Bernie that James is delusional, agitated and paranoid.
What's the problem?
He's delusional, paranoid, agitated.
Fletch questions if James may be stalking Bernie.
He's never displayed any kind of threatening behaviour.
Have you ever seen him hang around the hospital before?
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
James can be seen writing in his notebook, when Bernie and Fletch go in to speak with him. James is convinced another patient is an assassin sent to kill Bernie, and in his mind, he is the only one who can protect her.
But I promise you, I am not in any danger.
That's what they want you to think.
Bernie tries to keep her professional cool, insisting James undergo a psychiatric evaluation. But James refuses to be locked away, and the more Bernie pushes, the more agitated he becomes.
We'd like you to talk to someone.
A psychiatrist.
I think it's a waste of time.
I disagree.
I said no.
Bernie tells James that he no longer has a choice in the matter, which agitates him.
I'm the only thing that stood between you.
You'll be assessed by myself as psychiatrist.
I'm not having this.
Okay, James, sit down. It's for the best.
You be careful.
The next day, Bernie and Serena talk before surgery. Bernie tells her that James' psychological evaluation has been postponed. Serena questions if Bernie has considered involuntarily committing James for mental health treatment.
Not unless he seriously deteriorates.
Yeah, keep a close eye.
Will do.
Bernie returns to James's bed only to find it empty. In his place are disturbing, obsessive sketches that send a chill down her spine. She immediately raises the alarm to security. James finds another patient who was involved in the crash, and he confronts her. James threatens her with a screwdriver, and he tells her that he must protect Major Wolfe.
You're gonna kill her.
Kill who?
Sent here. Sent here to murder Major Wolfe.
Fletch arrives to de-escalate the situation. He pleads with James to drop the weapon, but as he moves in to push James away from the frightened patient, disaster strikes. In the scuffle, Fletch is accidentally stabbed with the screwdriver. The ward turns into a crime scene as Fletch is rushed into emergency surgery.
You're gonna be okay.
I just heard.
You get scrubbed in.
The stakes couldn't be higher. Bernie and Serena are operating on one of their own. The room is silent, save for the monitors, as they battle to stop the massive internal bleeding. The pair work on their colleague, and are disheartened by the amount of blood he has lost.
Getting colder by the minute.
There's not much more we can do for him now other than stabilize him. There's damage limitation at this point in the game.
After hours in theater, the physical and emotional toll finally breaks them. Disregarding hospital hierarchy and professional decorum, Bernie and Serena collapse onto the floor of the hallway, leaning against the wall in total exhaustion. Bernie says that this is all her fault.
What?
Well, he pushed for an assessment and I fobbed him off.
How could you have known things would turn out like this?
The warning signs were all there. Our friend and colleague is fighting for his life.
You are the most fantastic, fearless doctor in this entire hospital.
Bernie is touched by Serena's kind words. As they lock eyes, the air between them changes. The spark Cameron noticed, the tension of the last few months, and the sheer relief of surviving the day collide. Without thinking, Bernie leans in and kisses Serena. The shock only lasts a second. Without hesitation, Serena reaches out and passionately kisses her back. A week has passed since that world-shifting kiss, and the air between Serena and Bernie has become impossibly heavy. As Serena is getting the elevator, Bernie joins her, and the pair share an awkward moment. Bernie says to Serena that she hopes today is not going to see a repeat of last week.
No, why do you want it to? I mean, I, for one, don't go around kissing work colleagues as a matter of course.
Serena is left embarrassed when Bernie says that she was referring to the attack on Fletch, and not their kiss.
Yeah, no. I knew that's what you meant. It was just my little joke there.
The moment the doors slide open, Serena bolts, leaving Bernie standing alone in the metal box, possibly wondering if kissing Serena has destroyed their friendship. The distraction is taking its toll. During a briefing with the CEO, Serena's mind is miles away, drifting back to that hallway floor. When Serena's boss asks for her input on a new initiative regarding workplace violence, she's forced to snap back to reality. Blushing, she apologizes for her obvious distraction, and says that she is struggling to focus on implementing new hospital policies right now.
It's quite understandable that your thoughts would be with Nurse Fletcher.
My day already feels rather overwhelming.
Fletch, still recovering from his stabbing, suffers a sudden, life-threatening complication. Serena's professionalism overrides any personal awkwardness she has with Bernie, and together, they work to save their colleague's life. Their personal lives might be a mess, but as a medical team, Bernie and Serena are unmatched. Later, Bernie finally corners Serena to address the elephant in the room. Bernie tries to play it cool, telling Serena that she hopes she isn't worried about what happened. Serena lets out a nervous, almost hysterical laugh. Serena proudly declares to Bernie that she has in fact kissed a woman before, and that this is nothing new to her.
For your information, I happen once to have kissed a woman at a party in Stepney.
Bernie is taken back by Serena's admission, and quickly changes the subject of their conversation to something more work-related. The pair get back to business and seemingly put their kiss behind them. Bernie asks for Serena's professional opinion on a patient.
Pseudoaneurysm of the splenic artery. Looks like it's in a hair's width of rupturing.
Bernie goes over the patient's medical condition, explaining that she wants Serena by her side for the procedure, not just as a world-class colleague, but as a friend she truly trusts.
So I'm very, very busy.
Bernie is left blindsided by Serena's cold dismissal and her unexpected refusal to assist in surgery. As Bernie walks away, Serena can be seen locked in her office with her face in her hands. Serena later speaks with Fletch as he lay unconscious. In the stillness of the room, she finally lets her guard down. Serena worries how people would see her if they thought she was a lesbian, and says if word gets out, the news would spread through the hospital like a rash. Serena confesses to Fletch that her earlier claim to Bernie was a total lie. She has never actually kissed a woman before.
I didn't kiss a girl in Stepney. I've never even been to Stepney.
The intimate confession is cut short when a nurse arrives with good news. Fletch's tests are looking positive. They decide to bring him out of his induced coma, but the awakening is far from peaceful. As Fletch panics, Serena finds herself gripped by a different kind of anxiety, wondering just how much he might have heard while he was under. When alone with Fletch, Serena asks him if he might have heard anything said to him whilst he was unconscious. Much to Serena's immense relief, Fletch confirms he was completely oblivious to his surroundings while unconscious. He didn't hear a thing, meaning Serena's private admission remains just that. Private. Bernie and Serena can be seen together walking the halls of the hospital, and Serena brings up the patient that Bernie had asked her opinion on earlier. Bernie says that she didn't think Serena was interested in the case.
Well, I may have been slightly too preoccupied with wishing myself dead to act professionally.
Serena opens up to Bernie, and she tells her that this isn't easy for her. In a vulnerable moment, she confesses to Bernie that she's never been more than friends with a woman before. This newfound attraction isn't just unfamiliar, it's absolutely terrified the life out of her. Bernie is shocked, and asks what about the woman Serena mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that was a lie to save my blushes. It's idiotic of me, I know.
The pair laugh over the lie. Bernie breaks the ice with a cheeky compromise. She promises not to turn the operating theater into a raging love room, if Serena will finally agree to assist her with the surgery.
I'd be glad to.
Returning to the operating theater together, they try to convince themselves they can just be normal again, seemingly putting the memory of their kiss behind them and focusing on the task at hand. However, the professional mask eventually slips. In the middle of the operation, the weight of the unspoken becomes too much to carry. Breaking her focus for a fleeting, anxious moment, Serena nervously asks Bernie a question.
Fancy a drink later?
If you're buying.
Serena lays out 2 wine glasses in her office and waits for Bernie. When Bernie walks into the office, she is left pleasantly surprised.
Drinking in the hospital. You are a rebel.
Settling into a chair beside Serena, Bernie brings up the elephant in the room, their kiss. Bernie opens up to Serena about how she feels following their kiss. Bernie says that she can see how uncomfortable their kiss has made Serena, and offers to back off.
We should toast our undeniable sexual chemistry and say no more about it.
Serena questions if Bernie wants to forget the kiss ever happened. Bernie points out that between her messy divorce, Serena's heterosexuality, and being work colleagues, a relationship between the pair is essentially a non-starter, a sentiment Serena seemingly shares. Bernie tells Serena that they do make a great team, and she offers up a toast. A toast to keeping their relationship professional, and within the hospital theater.
Here's to keeping it confined to theatre.
A week later, the pair run into each other on the ward, where they playfully reintroduce themselves to each other.
So, is it me avoiding you, or you avoiding me?
Talk about ships that pass in the night.
Oh, now she compares me to a boat. Charming.
As Serena is leaving work, she asks Bernie if she would like to come out for a drink with their colleague, Rick, but Bernie declines.
Fancy coming for a drink, do you?
Murder one, just not tonight. Soon, though.
Definitely.
Well, looks like just you and me then.
Have one for the rest of us.
Oh, we will. Though I've never seen the point in just one.
Serena and Rick go to a bar alone, and the topic of Serena's love life comes up.
Oh. Oh, you are.
Rick is interested to know who Serena is referring to, and he asks her to tell him who the lucky man is.
Oh, come on. Put me out of my misery. Who's the lucky man?
It isn't a man. It's Bernie.
Rick is left shocked by the revelation that Serena is talking about Bernie, a woman.
Anyway, there we are. Now you know.
Once the initial shock wears off, Rick tells Serena that he thinks her potential new relationship with Bernie is brilliant.
À l'amour.
So what do you think of this blossoming romance so far? Join us again for the next installment, where Bernie and Serena's relationship develops even more. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel for more all-women love stories.